Now we play a round called Your Grexits Are Here, Here and Here. This game involves James and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of the performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is parties. Who wants to go into that? James.
I went to a surprise party recently for my friend Darryl. We were all in his living room, all of us, in the dark, hiding. His girlfriend turned to us all. She went, right, he's going to be here in a minute. When he gets in, everyone jump out, yell surprise, and that will be really surprising. I argued it'd be a lot more surprising if instead of making all that commotion, we all just stood there in his living room in the dark, just... When he comes in and turns the lights on, see how surprised he is then? It's a good party. I schmoozed. I'm good at schmoozing. Buttering people up. I'll give you some schmoozing tips, why not? A lot of people will tell you when you're schmoozing, have a good icebreaker, right? Break the ice. What they won't tell you, at the end of the conversation, unbreak the ice. You don't want anyone else swooping in, taking advantage of all the lovely little ice cubes that you created. So freeze it over again before you leave. So as you're leaving, just slide something under the fence, like death comes to us all, something like that.
Thank you very much, James. So, Gary's left. Let's see what topic you have, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is childhood.
I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. And apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. They love that. Every Christmas day, we'd always have pigs in blankets, or as you probably call them, relatives sleeping in the spare room. Winnie the Pooh, possibly the most vindictive chapter in Nelson Mandela's autobiography. It was only after I shot the fifth zombie that I started to wonder why they were all carrying bags of sweets and ringing my doorbell. I've been trying to recapture my lost youth. I really must get that cellar door fixed. One time when I was a kid, I bought a chocolate bar. On the inside of the wrapper, it said, "You're a loser." I wouldn't mind if there'd been some sort of competition on. To make things worse, it was a boost. As a family, we couldn't decide whether to have Nana buried or cremated, so in the end, we let her live. My 13-year-old cousin's already started taking heroin. It's amazing, isn't it? They shoot up so fast these days.
Well done. Very good. Point to the lady. Everyone come back. Let's kick off with a round called Inside the Mind of. With the G8 conference fast approaching, we clamber inside the mind of the American president. Can anyone tell me what the voices inside George W. Bush's head might be saying? Roy?
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
In.
You want a drink. If you have a drink, everything will be all right. You can silence me with a drink.
John?
Are they saying, George, even we, as an abstract version of your inner soul, would like to completely disown you?
Jeremy?
Kyoto is the dog in The Wizard of Oz.
Frankie?
Are they saying, if you step on the cracks in the pavement, George, we have to invade Syria?
I'm saying, gee, there's a lot of room in here.
Are they getting ready for next week? It's Tony's coming to Washington. Look busy.
OK, Grant, that's probably enough of those. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next round, ladies and gentlemen. Give a round of applause to everyone there. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Fred, which category would you like?
World news, please, Nana.
OK, your category is world news. Your answer is 1/5. What's the question?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, boss?
Unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
So, Boris Johnson, are you enjoying the Olympics? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Claire Balding, are you enjoying the Olympics?
Politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy.
All right, so it's been a pretty amazing time for black people in politics. There's a lot of black women who are becoming movers and shakers in politics. We've got Una King going up for Labour candidacy for the mayoral election. We've got Diane Abbott. She's got her 33 nominations. She's going up for Labour leadership. Doesn't stand a chance. But good luck to you. And, of course, we've got Floella Benjamin is in the House of Lords. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the hell did she get in there? Like, through the round window? But it's true. Now, I think we've shown that obviously we're up for change. We've shown we've got a sense of humour as well. That is the only way that Boris Johnson could have possibly got himself elected. But I had a lovely story about Boris Johnson, about him and his dad. Apparently they look very similar. And his dad also likes riding a bike. And his dad was out one day riding his bike. And some random geezer just shouted at him, "Oi, Johnson, you wanker." And he went, "I think you mean my son." Which I thought was lovely.
According to a recent poll, how far ahead is the Leave campaign in the European referendum? A recent YouGov poll showed that the Leave campaign is ahead by 4%, although there is no clear consensus. And a poll from ORB has shown that Remain is 1% ahead. It's an exciting campaign, though. Are we all enjoying it?
Well, loving it.
Some people say that the polls can't be trusted, which tells you how they're going to vote.
I don't know how you could look to a poll in this area, because you truly ring somebody's doorbell and you open it and then you go, "Are you in or out?" And they go, "Well, I'm clearly in."
I think it's not had a great PR campaign behind it, has it? Because Brexit's a terrible name. It sounds like cereal you have when you're constipated.
Given the rest of Europe's attitude to us, it feels a lot more like Bruck off at the moment.
Do you know when we were doing a series last year, it wasn't Brexit, it was called Brixit this time last year.
Was it?
Which is another version of Brixit, which is also wrong because it sounds like a type of Lego, or what the Greek finance minister does every time he sees Angela Merkel.
I think the problem for the Leave campaign is the people in charge. Michael Gove, who looks like a kind of satirical cartoon of Michael Gove. One of the things he said at the weekend was, "We should say to Europe, you're fired," which is a catchphrase that is 10 years old. He might as well go, "We should say to France, what's up?" Is that Angela Merkel?
Don't leave me hanging, people. Don't leave me hanging.
What's up? Yeah, what's up?
Well, it's not even the worst looking, though, out of the pair, because Boris looks like a newly circumcised penis. With a wig on it.
Oh, with a wig on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be terrified if I was faced with Boris, because he looks like the ghost of the honey monster.
Because when you've got Gove, Johnson and Farage, that isn't the leader of a campaign. That is the worst ever game of shag, marry, kill.
Now we play a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Nathan, which category would you like?
Health, please.
OK, your category is health, and the answer is 8. What is the question?
How many Father's Day cards did Boris Johnson get?
Next, to demonstrate chaos theory, we've locked Boris Johnson in a room with an aardvark and some magic mushrooms.
Letterman was trying to trip him up by asking about British history, which is tricky because we've got a lot more of it than they have, right? And, you know, American history exams are really easy. They just have questions like, on what date was September the 11th?
You could also have gone, you say your name is Letterman. In my country, we would call you Postman.
I'm sorry. He wasn't going on as a Bond villain. I am from
in my country.
Kill him now!
They love us as villains. They always have English people as villains. They don't know who he is. This was we could have sent anybody. We should have sent Alan Rickman. Hello.
You know what he came out to, do you know?
Yeah, I know what he came out to. He came out to loads of dry ice, and they said it represented a London fog, when we haven't had a London fog for over 100 years. That's the stereotype image that those Americans believe. What? The fat, dumb redneck. The closest we've currently got to a London fog is Boris Johnson at the moment. Either that or Amy Childs from The Only Way is Essex.
What Boris Johnson did say was that he got it wrong deliberately because he didn't want to seem like he had Latin coming out of every orifice. Now, that sounds creepy, doesn't it?
The thing about Boris Johnson, though, isn't it, is everybody thinks he's quintessentially English, but in fact he was born in America, named after a Russian, and looks like a Swedish person who's eaten another Swedish person.
The answer is 600 metres. What is the question?
How far away can Boris Johnson smell of custard cream?
Is it in fact, how far can the Proclaimers walk now?
Our next round is called Newsreel. We play on a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask Hugh to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features Boris Johnson and David Cameron.
Ah, tally-ho, look out, posh boy coming through. I wonder if there's any grub. I'm absolutely starving.
Now, remember why we're here, Boris? We're here to reassure the public about spending cuts, not just so you can eat.
No, but look, there's cake. There's cake. There's loads of cake. I love cake. They've got all sorts of cake. They've got pink cake. They've got blue cake. What am I? Am I pink? Am I blue? Am I pink? I've never been pink. God, I sound like William Hague. Anyway, all the cake's on cameras. He's got loads of cash from the spending cuts.
Actually, this is the last £10 left in Britain, so we'd best be careful with it.
Well, I want a meringue. I love a meringue. I love all the cream in a meringue.
Well, why don't you share mine? I mean, times are hard.
Well, I could, I suppose, but I have a rule. I have a rule. I never share anything with another man, unless, of course, it's his wife. There we go. Now, careful, don't get any of the white stuff up there. No, that would be very bad. Anyway.
So, do you have any change? We were hoping to save some for the poor people. It doesn't really matter, but if there is some left over... Have you? £3, lovely. That's absolutely perfect.
God, there's a big crowd here. I wonder if I could do them for the congestion charge. They absolutely love me for the congestion charge. They love my blonde-haired buffoonery. They love me. Come on, Boris. Oh, yes, they love me. And they love me when I'm riding my bike. That's what they really love. Yes, oops.
There we go. That's the Pakistani betting syndicate satisfied.
Oh, look, lovely. Sticky fingers. Yes, I love a sticky finger. That's not the first. Oh, look, a genuine Cockney. Hello, how are you? Oh, Lauren Lummy, who shot Cock Robin, apples and pears. Down the old chimney, Mary Poppins, the Cray twins, innit?
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well done, Hugh. Frankie delivers a speech in the guise of a leading figure on the world stage, while Hugh translates what they really mean. Frankie, this week, you are Leader of the Opposition, David Cameron, addressing the nation.
Let me assure you, I understand the pain of the people of Tewkesbury.
We're both up to our necks in shit.
This summer, I have put the Tory party back where they belong.
Third in 2 by-elections.
But what does PHFE stand for?
An extract from Boris Johnson's commentary. Peasants, half-wits, fools, extra fights!
I'm going to move towards the correct answer.
Pregnant hooker frightens England.
Boris Johnson will make a great mayor. He has a lot in common with London's first mayor.
He's a dick.
I have taken steps to ensure that I will be the next Prime Minister of this great country.
Dear Jimmy. Could you fix it for me?
Let's hear it, Frankie! Like things to hear at a party conference.
Yes, I'm a millionaire. Yes, I went to Eton. But I really feel I can relate to the rest of you scum.
My name's Dave, like the TV channel. We both repeat the same old shit over and over again.
It has just been unacceptable cut after unacceptable cut. Why can't Boris Johnson find a proper hairdresser?
The answer is 691 million. What is the question?
My first thought was, how many people worldwide will watch Boris Johnson pick up the Olympic torch and think, oh, David Bowie's let himself go?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear in a maternity ward.
Mr. Parsons, your baby looks exactly like you. But mind you, so does every other baby.
There are complications, I'm afraid, for a start. I'm not a doctor.
I definitely can see the head. You should do your flies up, Doctor.
Bad news, I'm afraid. He's ginger. Your Highness.
So, would you like to hold the little fella? Or shall I give you the baby?
Mrs. Jones, I'm going to need you to push. And then when we've got the ambulance started, we'll try and get you to hospital.
Oh, God, is that my baby? I've given birth to Andy Parsons.
I'd stay up that end and talk to your wife if I were you, Mr. Smith. It looks like Alien versus Predator down here.
And this is the ward for unwanted twins. We call it the Jed ward.
Basically, you just turn them over and slap them on the arse. These nurses' parties are great.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Jolie. If you'd like to just move along to the next window to collect your order.
Oh, this isn't your first baby, is it?
You have a bouncing baby boy. I know that because I dropped him in the delivery room.
OK, big breath. Big breath in, hold it, and pass the joint to the midwife.
If you're not in when we deliver your baby, is it OK if we leave it with a neighbour?
The boys got a great Joe and Andy! Who has been spied on this week?
Europe. Spied on Europe.
Yeah.
It put a bug... It all sounded very high-tech until they mentioned they'd put a bug in the fax machine.
Yeah.
Like, are they still using fax machines?
The only message that you're going to get on a fax machine these days is the message, hello, is anybody else out there who still has a fax machine?
Hello, I'm trapped in a fax machine factory. Could you please send help? The only contact I can make is by in the back. It is. It's apparently spying on the EU, and like you kind of go, you can understand the EU. It's causing some tension now because the EU would be going, okay, you're spying on Russia. We get that there's like a thing, but like. Dude, like, come on, like, we're on your side, for Christ's sake.
Bad manners spying on friends, isn't it? It's like when you invite somebody to come round and spend the night in the spare bedroom and you put a webcam in there. It's not right, is it? I mean, obviously, we've all done it. We've all done it. It's not right.
I've not enjoyed watching those tapes.
They're actually bugging the Italian embassy. You think, what is the point of that? Nothing is going to embarrass the Italians. Their ex-Prime Minister had bunga parties in his own home, and he was the one who was telling everybody about them.
They probably just found the camera and did it said, "A camera! Bunga bunga!"
Also, B, you know, spying on the European Union must be the most disappointing assignment for any spy or secret agent, isn't it? 007, your mission is to find the agricultural production figures for the fiscal year to 2015. Just remember, nothing depends on it.
How is an Italian neuroscientist hoping to make medical history?
This is brilliant.
This is
an
amazing.
absolutely fantastic
This is
story.
amazing.
He is planning to give someone a head transplant, or to take someone's head off and transplant it onto another body.
It's a bit ridiculous, though, isn't it? Like, how in demand are heads? Like, who's at home going, finally, I can get an head now, all these years?
No, I think you mix up a head transplant and a body transplant. No one is going, if only my body had the head it deserved.
Yeah.
I have a... You are quite ripped, aren't you? Yeah.
I reckon he's on the flag. I reckon he's going to get two people who are quite similar, get one of them, get rid of the other one, and just do like a little dotted line around the neck. Go, done it, nailed it.
You would never, ever want to be a head donor, would you? Because that just sounds like a PC job title for a prostitute, doesn't it? That's basically
I don't think, and I know little enough about the sex industry, that they regard it as a donation. I think.
But you are giving head.
Yes, you are, but there is also...
Speak for yourself.
Yes. I don't know. I can't speak for the sex industry. Maybe they go, the head is free. It's the companionship you're paying for.
If you hadn't seen somebody for ages,
Yeah.
and whenever you had seen them, they'd always been in a wheelchair, and then you suddenly saw them walking along the street, you'd be quite freaked out by that, wouldn't you? Right? But it would not be as freaky as if you thought somebody had died and then you saw them walking along the street with exactly the same tattoos as the person who died. That would freak you right out, wouldn't it?
Would there be an element of you would want... I don't know if you can request no tattoos, though.
You'd wake up and be like, why is that pierced?
Hello, I'm not married to Mabel. What the hell is this doing here? This is going to be awkward
I love that your go-to name for a wife was Mabel.
Yeah. It's actually Mary. I thought it was too Irish. I thought, I better pick something English. Mabel, that's a standard English
Have
name.
you met my beautiful wife, Mabel?
If you put a head on someone else's body, are heads gender-specific? Do they have to go on the same...
Oh, that's a very interesting question.
Because I was thinking you'd have to find the match, wouldn't you? Sometimes a head is much too large for a body. So, for example, if your head was to go on Posh Spice, that would look... That would look ridiculous.
She'd be lolling. I don't know which of us it is. Would be lolling ferociously.
I would be having some confusing feelings looking at that. I can enjoy this.
Who'd you be blocking out? Who'd you be blocking out? Seriously, Josh, be honest with me. Would you be blocking out me or Posh in this situation? Or would it be like those superhero mashup toys?
Which Spice Girl would they choose, then?
Well, Posh, I think.
No, they choose Scary because she's like, you know... I don't think they give you a catalogue of just the Spice Girls. I don't think it's...
I totally misunderstood the story.
I don't think, I need a new body. Well, these are your 5 exact choices. Oh, that seems unusual.
So I could choose one of the All Saints?
Presumably, yeah.
If you can remember their names.
Essentially, that's what the Sugar Babes have been for about 10 years anyway. At the end, and the points go to Rob, Ellie and Andy! Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board of 6 categories. Ramesh, which category would you like?
Sport, please.
OK, the category is sport. The answer is 264. What is the question?
Is it the number of back-to-school photos of our kids my wife posted up this morning?
Each one more delightful than the last.
I'm just like, the second one ain't even that good looking. Do you know what I mean? Just... keep him secret for the good of the family name, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're really trailblazing in that department.
Listen, mate, that's not problem. The poor bastard looks like me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I've said to my wife. Should we have another one? I'm going, if we have a girl, the risk, I'm not willing to spin the wheel. I'm not willing to do that. Girl that looks like an Asian Rolf Harris, absolutely not, mate.
Is it how happy is Romesh out of 1 million?
Is it what would be a rather worrying nickname for the parents of your new girlfriend to give you?
Is it how many free seats on the train does Jeremy Corbyn count as no free seats?
Is it the new retirement age in Greece?
Is it how many hours in a junior doctor's working week? Yeah, right, guys, I went there.
Is it how many dick pics I get sent every time this show goes out to air?
Sorry.
Is it the number of voters in the referendum that actually fully understood the ramifications of what they were voting for?
Yes. True that, Bob. True that.
Is it how many summers must pass before you reach the sell-by date of a pepperami?
If each member of Jedward had 132 sweets, how many people in the country remember who Jedward are?
Any of the correct answer, please?
Across the whole series, how many points am I ahead?
Because I think you'll find it here.
Then you have the actual correct answer.
It's how many Paralympic athletes are there in the GB team?
They're absolutely right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Really good, sir. Really good.
Say this very quickly.
Go on.
265. Now, when you count that point...
I thought you just meant somebody else has just acquired a disability.
You just like, and then wheeled away. And suddenly you're wearing a Team GB outfit. You're wheeling down.
Yes, the question I was looking for was how many athletes is Team GB fielding at this year's Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro? 264 Paralympic athletes will represent Great Britain and Northern Ireland across 19 events. The competition starts on Wednesday and runs until the 18th of September. However, what hazards might the athletes face in Rio?
Things are very difficult for the Paralympians in Rio because there are unfinished... There are holes in the ground and there are uncovered wires and there are ramps and bridges that aren't finished. But things aren't necessarily any better for Paralympians here, you know. I'm looking forward to the British Paralympian medalists coming back to a hero's welcome and lots of media coverage, and someone from the government telling them that obviously, you know, perfectly good for work, and they're having all their benefits cancelled. That's what's going to happen.
Are they not selling tickets either? They
tickets. Well, it's felt as big as beginning to turn around now. But it
was like £2.30 for some ticket, which is
the price,
really, is it? If you don't want to pay £2.30 to watch two geezers in a wheelchair have a sword fight, I don't know what's wrong with you. It sounds quality. I loved it when it was in London.
How do you enjoy the Summer Olympics?
Well, it was a mixed bag, wasn't it? Because, like, I went there one day and in the morning I got mugged and hit over the head with something in double vision. But in the afternoon I saw some of the best synchronised swimming I've ever seen.
It's immaculate, wasn't it? It really was. Yeah.
I ended up watching a lot of beach volleyball. I love the beach volleyball. not for the obvious... Yeah, no, not for the obvious reason. The reason I love it is because after every point, whether they win or lose, whether it's good or bad, they hug each other. Everyone hugs after every single point. It's almost like they just really want to hug each other, and the sport is completely incidental.
Do you want Romesh to give you a hug when you get something right?
By the way, what is the fear about the NHS?
It's to do with the the patenting of pharmaceuticals.
Yes,
so
yeah,
they want to extend it, make it a longer term in terms, like in line with America.
And that would cause a problem because
that would cost more money to the NHS in terms of purchasing.
Yes. Can you ask him to explain that more coherently and beautifully?
No, I think he's done absolutely fine, Hugh.
Thank you, Dara.
Yeah.
Us baldies stick together, you see.
Yeah.
How do you think I got the job in The Apprentice? You're fired.
Ironically, baldies can't stick together at all. Just slide right.
We don't stick together by the top of our head, Ed.
We don't all go, ooh, lovely, static electricity. Yes, drug costs in America, that's the fear, is that because there are certain drugs that cost, say, £2,000 in Britain, would cost £9,000 in America, right? And that's the fear. But obviously what they should do is, if they're getting them for £2,000, they should buy loads of them, then go to America and sell them for £6,000, and then fund the NHS by selling America's drugs cheaper back to Americans. Why has nobody thought of it?
Corbyn keeps banging on about how we're under threat from Big Pharma.
Yeah.
I only just saw that written down today, so for 2 weeks I thought he's scared of a big pharma.
Get off my land! Which celebrity has been out campaigning for the Lib Dems?
Hugh Grant.
Yes, it is Hugh Grant, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Here is Luciana Berger. He was also out with Chuka Amuna. Just knocking on doors in a way that would be totally natural, and not in any way would you open the door and go, holy shit, that's Hugh Grant!
Do you think he's sort of living his life backwards? Like this is all just a ploy to do some method research for Love Actually?
He just knocked on doors until he found Martine McCutcheon's house. And he
got the cards out.
Yeah.
I'm just a man standing...
It's a different part of the... No.
No, it's a different thing.
Why? Tom!
That's all right.
You could not be more wrong. Absolute moron. Hugh Grant, Love Actually, knocked on doors for Martine McCutcheon.
Yeah.
But she didn't do paper one.
Yeah.
That was Keira Knightley. That weird
Andrew Lincoln.
pervert guy.
Pervert guy?
Yeah, no.
Different Andrew.
Okay.
How many times do you watch Love Actually? You've been very well acquainted with it.
Isn't it not on endlessly and constantly?
Yeah.
You don't have to watch it, Dara.
You're on television constantly, and I don't watch you.
Before Tom, Hugh and Rosie! We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Nish, which category would you like?
I'll go for politics, Dara, because I'm a clever boy.
You gosh, Swat. Okay. Your category.
You're on the wrong show.
Yeah. Okay, let's give it a go, shall we? Your category is politics. The answer is 4%. What is the question?
Is this the percentage of people who enjoyed a comedy gig I did in Greenwich in December of last year?
We've all had those shows.
Yeah, I was at that, and that was not 4%.
I didn't see it, but is it? What are the chances of Johnny Depp appearing on the next series of Mr. and Mrs.?
Is it how much of the old Top Gear audience has Chris Evans held on to?
Including that.
Clarkson's in.
Is it by 2017, what proportion of celebrities will still be alive?
I know. Ooh, we're not the one killing them.
Is it the amount of hair that Donald Trump has managed to spread across his entire head?
What are Sepp Blatter's chances of going to heaven?
Is it, despite claiming it's my favourite book, how much have I read of Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom?
Nothing against Nelson Mandela, but he kind of gave away the ending in the title. It's kind of... You were left in no doubt during the long Robben Island bits.
You think it should have been called Locked Up? Question mark.
Simple. Or Long Walk to Freedom.
Is it How Deep Is Your Love?
That's not deep enough, is it? By the way, just
no, just speaking for all the ladies, 4% is not deep enough.
Julie Norbert.
Do you know what? I've never learned anything from this show, but there's a first time for anything, isn't there?
What was the turnout at the annual conference of the Apathy Society? It's always tricky.
They were reportedly very happy.
I like the fact that round of applause was really half-assed as well.
Is it how much of my foot could I fit into one of Josh Widdicombe's little shoes?
We can do it, man! A size 9.
Ladies.
Oh, a 9? Yeah, children, so I don't have to pay VAT on my shoes.
I'll have you know those are the exact plimsolls that Nelson Mandela wore on his long walk.
Does anyone have the correct answer
Yes.
for why? Yes.
How much of my Sunday paper wasn't about Muhammad Ali?
No, it's in a recent poll, how much was the Leave campaign beating the Remain campaign?
That's absolutely right. Thank you very much, Josh Widdicombe, yes. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Would you do it? Are you going to plan
Yeah,
to
I'm not going to do it like that. No.
Yeah, okay.
It's all right. Just got a bit more coffee. No, leave it there.
Okay. Did you enjoy the Olympic Games?
I did!
Okay, we need you to walk in again because apparently Alan, Andy and Andy, you're walking in with shit.
Yeah.
Who are these two and why are they in the news this week?
Who are these two?
You're right, it is quite beginner, that. Sorry, I'll do that again.
Who are these two?
Who are these two?
I don't know, Dara. They look like nice men. Who are they?
Like me head.
Oh,
they got
round my hat. I will
Why will you not die, Skyward?
Michael, they have taken you
Will you not go home and die?
Wasn't there any of that at the Olympic opening ceremony?
What?
There was none of it,
Irish rebel songs?
Yeah. They weren't all Irish. We've got a great...
really weird if they just open on a man going, England has stolen our young. Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a... Could you shut the fuck up?
Was that for me?
No, it wasn't. It was the end of his.
Oh, right, sorry.
You get to the fucking mic and then put it.
Well, this is the news that Ed Miliband has launched a campaign to make himself better known to voters, embracing his geek image and comprehensive school education. So is this going to make it more appealing?
No.
OK.
Do you know what will make him more appealing? Standing him next to a big pile of shit.
Yeah, we're having fun, It's great. OK, how's that? Let me just... I'll just do this. Are you testing it? You liking this? Yeah. Is that all right? Oh, yeah. Too hot for TV. Yeah. How's that? Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
This is the DVD your uncle bought you. Yeah.
Men football?
The Copa America is on, right? And a player got sent off because the guy who was marking him fingered him in the backside.
Yeah.
And then when he turned around, the guy who'd done the deed with the finger pretended to go down as if he'd been hit.
He fingered him and then went down?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It feels right, you know?
How How is that a bookable offence? That sounds...
seems, if anything,
sounds generous.
It seems overly intimate.
Yeah, he got his bum hole finger, didn't he?
There was some contact.
Well, the finger went in his
area.
bum hole.
In the general area. It was quite proctological. There was an element of, well, if you're going to check my prostate, at least train for a few years in this field.
I like how you're making it scientific, but we just want to say bumhole fingering.
You do say
He put his finger in his bum hole.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say the word bumhole more often than this, Rob.
Bumhole is funny, isn't it?
You finally got a catchphrase, something that people can shout at you in the street.
I almost regret bringing that story up now. Can we move on?
I mean, you brought it up, Dara, to be fair.
OK. The next story. OK, maybe before... OK. OK. What became legal across all of the United States this week?
Bumhole fingering.
Stop it.
It's very difficult to lie and claim you're taller than you are when you're the only member of the team that's on a booster seat.
The way nature of these things, you have to do little pickups that'll cover various options for the... Fuck me, everyone is gone.
Am I invisible?
Oh, no, you're still here, Hugh. You're always here.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I'm here. I've already gone.
OK.
We are live from Las Vegas for the grudge match of the century between Hulk Hogan and the Harlem Globetrotters. Racist, isn't he? I can't do it all.
I'm almost certain my producer has got this wrong. I'm a train, bollock, piddle, fuck, wank.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll definitely we're doing that again. That was the shittiest 6 people getting out of chairs we've had in 10 years of this show. OK, we need you to answer this question.
OK.
We've chosen you to answer this question because of many of your unique skills, including your attendance. Why did one of Corbyn's shadow cabinet appointments upset farmers? No. Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
How long can I keep this up? I've got the buzzer.
There's also an answer for this one, probably coming from Hugh again. Hugh, you're on fire today, I have to say. Compliment you on how well...
I was on fire, but I've wet myself, so...
After that round, the point's going to end here at Nathan.
Ed, you and Milton?
Nathan. Sorry, I apologise. I mumbled it. I said Nathan.
You said Milton.
You did not say Milton. There is literally no way...
Me and Milton, we get confused all the time.
All the time,
Tom Daley there receiving surprisingly low marks. Balls.
In other news, what essential task will British astronaut Major Tim Peake be responsible for aboard the International Space Station?
He's going to unclog the shitter.
He's not. That's a fucking problem. Yeah. Still just as funny now as it was early on. OK, so translate this, Stephen fucking Fry. First subject is unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And that's a wonderful sleight of hand from the Welsh fly half. He's picked up the loose ball, he's tucked it back in his shorts, and nobody seems to have noticed.
I can see Nico Rosberg's helmet.
Apologies, after 15 years in this job, I've just been told it's not pronounced croquette.
And after that victory, they'll be dancing on the street of Samoa tonight. 100 metres in 4 hours, 26 minutes, and that is metre reading at its very best.
Now, Garry Kasparov, he's going to move his pawn. And he's done it just in time. His wife's home, but he's got it under the bed.
Welcome to beach volleyball. The players are currently getting changed into their kits while their mums hold a towel up in front of them.
And Shane Warne will be laughing on the other side of his face after that surgery.
I'd like to apologise. What you're watching is, in fact, judo, and not, as I said earlier, timed pyjama cuddling.
Now, this should be relatively easy for Rory McIlroy. Oh, how has he done that? All he had to do was say, get a Santander 1, 2, 3 account.
Kasparov toying with his bishop. Oh, no, his wife's home, she's caught him!
Ah, that pot was remarkable. But now I've got a major case of the munchies.
We'd just like to refute the idea that the BBC has lost coverage rights of all good sports. We now cross to a girl playing noughts and crosses against a clown.
What a thrilling cricket match.
Left hand, big right hand again, big left hand. Why has no one put these gloves in pairs?
What the fuck is a furlong?
OK. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Alistair, what category would you like?
I'll go for sport, please.
OK, Grant, your category is sport. The answer is 56 years. What is the question?
Well, is it Eddie Izzard's next challenge for Sport Relief? I'm going to run for 56 years without stopping. In 3 languages, we're the family of chinchillas.
Is it when somebody says they're 13 online, how old are they actually?
Is it when is the next train to Morden via Bank?
Is this how old Dara will look when he's 45?
Oh.
It's just a jest.
She was 45 12 years ago.
Is it how long have BT been telling me my call is important to them?
Is it what is the age difference between the male and female presenters on Sky Sports News?
Is it how long is part 2 of The Hobbit?
How long does 56-year Ron Sale-Woodstone last for?
I don't know about you guys, but this is the age of consent for my daughters.
Is it at the time of the Big Bang? How long had Bruce Forsyth already been alive?
Is it how long you could travel in space with the right oxygen supply and just Dara O'Brien for company?
Thank you. OK. We'd both be very happy, thank you very much.
Is it, how long is the gap between each edition of the monthly magazine I'm No Good at Maths?
Is it pick an arbitrary length of time?
Is it? How much bad luck if you break a glitter ball?
Proper joke. And you know what 50
Is it the gap between Tokyo Olympics?
It is absolutely the gap between different Tokyo Olympics. Thank you very, very much. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Now we play a round called Mock the 9 o'clock news. This game involves Zoe, Stuart, Andy and Russell. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is finance. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
British Airways, their answer to the credit crunch, they've asked their employees, can you come into work for nothing for a month or take a month off unpaid? There's a tricky choice, isn't there? And who is going to want to fly British Airways? The last thing you want to hear when you get on the plane, this is your captain speaking. I'm not being paid today. Good luck. I am looking forward to seeing the credit crunch version of Monopoly. You know, instead of getting £1,500 from the bank, you have to lend the bank £1,500. And then everybody keeps on going round the board with nobody buying any property whatsoever because they always think it's going to be cheaper next time they go around.
Well done, Andy. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is Sarah Palin. Who wants to talk about that?
Sarah Palin. She was apparently an ex-beauty queen of a town in Alaska called Wasilla. And the press were very keen on this. They kept saying, you know, the beauty queen, Sarah Palin, the ex-beauty queen, the beauty queen, Sarah Palin. Let me tell you something, people. Wasilla is a very, very small town. Population 8, possibly 9,000 people at the best of times. To call it a one-horse town is to over-exaggerate the number of horses in that town by one. They timeshare a horse with another shithole down the road. Now, my brother used to live in Anchorage, Alaska, and I have been to Wasilla, and in the 5 minutes it took us to drive across Wasilla, I was voted beauty queen of Wasilla. It was no big deal, honestly. An otter and a caribou came second and third, respect.
Thank you very much, Joey. That leaves us with Stuart and Russell. Let's spin the wheel again. The next topic is men's health. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I went to the doctors recently with anal issues. I thought I had cancer, not I can't put my CDs in order. But it's a terrifying moment, right? So scary, because in your head, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And I went there and I took down my trousers. Obviously, we had a chat first, and it just... I'm not very well. You see that, mate? This is a chip shop. You've never done it slower in your life. I was just peeling them down. I got them down to about there. Just heard his booming voice go, in the other room. You have a decision to make there. Do you pull them up or do you waddle with pride, right? You waddle, that's what you do. When you waddle, you can't help but giggle. The last thing you need is to be giggling before a man's going to pop his finger in your Richard, because now you're a wiggling target, right? I'll be honest, when the finger goes in, you're not laughing anymore! You're like a red arrow! And that's the moment they chat. How you doing? Fine. When you draw the curtains, we've gathered quite a crowd. Look at that, it's Atrium Steps and he's getting violated. I'm Russell!
OK, Stuart, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is school.
You are looking at a very proud Canadian who's very proud of the education system in Canada. No, I was horrible in school. I failed math so many times I can't even count. I preferred French over chemistry because the chemistry teacher and I just didn't have any, rapport. One teacher said I'd be a better student if I spent less time flirting. I immediately jumped off his lap. One teacher used to always say I wasn't very observant, but you know what? That was his or her opinion. I was going to join the debating team, but someone talked me out of it. In high school, I was voted most likely to reminisce.
Okay, at the end of that round, the points go to Zoe and Stuart. That leaves us with Mickey. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is food. Oh, here you go.
Now, this is one of my favourite topics because I actually hate restaurants. And my wife loves restaurants. She's middle class. She's been skiing and everything. And she loves a restaurant. She says, can we go to a restaurant at the weekend? And I say, yes, we can. And we're there. We're barely there 2 minutes. And she's like, isn't it a lovely ambiance? And I say to her, I don't know what you're talking about. I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out about poor people, isn't it, basically? It's people with a few quid to say, can we just have one night out about the poor people turning up? You know what they're like. They'll be banging spoons together, singing Mailman's a Dustman, creating an atmosphere. We want an ambiance. So we try and enjoy the ambiance. But something's happened spoiling it for me. There's no tomato sauce on the table. Creating the situation when my wife looked at me, she said, you're going to ask for tomato sauce, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. Because I'm going to have the risotto. You can't eat risotto without red sauce, it's too dry. It's a health and safety issue. You've got to zhuzh it up with a bit of red sauce, right? So I thought, I'm not having it. I said to the waitress, excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building? She's looked at me like I'm the worst pleb God has ever put breath in. She went off to the kitchen and I saw her making her way back with a pot about that big, about 2 chipfuls of tomato sauce. I thought, oh, here we go. She's tried to put it down and walk away like she's doing a drug deal or something. And I stopped her. I said, hold on, love, don't rush off. And I took a sip of it. And I looked at her, I said, Jess, I'll have a bottle, please.
Thank you very much, Mickey. Well done.
And there they are, Scotland through to the final 16. Dear Babe Station, have you actually read the trade's description? That a few years ago, my wife and I had a baby. Well, we didn't have it straight away. We had to cook it up for a little while. And so she suggested we go to these classes run by the National Childbirth Trust in our local area. They're very middle-class antenatal classes. They're run by this fascist breastfeeding woman. Who's basically, you can go to her home on a Tuesday night, she's breastfeeding her 9-year-old son during the session. It's not awkward, all the men are checking the coving out. It's come away up there because they should have put glue both sides. That's... No, she's still doing it. What are you going to do? And I think by week 4 she's running out of ideas, so she started on the men. She said, I'm going to ask the men this evening, the men are coming on board. How might they benefit by giving birth to the baby themselves? Can we talk about those benefits? Now, there's 6 of us in a circle. I'm in trap 3. Not the best position, the worst one either. Chap number 1's in the best position. He said, if you gave birth to the baby yourself, he said you'd have an empathy with womankind and her struggle over the centuries, creating a great relationship with your partner. I was thinking, oh, cobblers, I was going to use that one. Chat number 2 dug in, fair enough. He said, well, if you gave birth to the baby yourself, he said you'd have a bond with the child at a more primeval, physical level. Started crying. Nice touch. Mother Earth looked at me, I'm having a panic attack. It's all gone a bit hazy. She said, Michael? I said, well, at least you'll be 100% sure it was yours.
Okay, the end of that round.
Mr. Von Trapp, I'm here from the council. We've had complaints about some terrible singing coming from your house. Golden, relax. We're doing a bit of dinner, mate. You're not sorting out the Middle East here.
And the topic is fashion. OK, Mickey.
Bound to be, wasn't it? I've returned to the vest. Happened a couple of years ago. I was walking through Marx's to get me pants. You always go back to Marx's. And, they know. They look at you. They go, you come back and you went the next, didn't you? Got flash. And I saw the vest. Packet of singlet vests. I thought, I'm having them. Put them in my basket. I'll cover them over like pornography. Got to the counter. I said to the woman, get them in the bag, love, get them in the bag. Got home, I shook one of these vests out. I thought, put it on. I thought, that is the answer. The wife came home. She said, what's all this with the vest? I said, I like them. I'm returned to the vest. She said, I don't mind, but only indoors. So for a couple of years, I've worn the vest, sort of in secret. But the other day, I'd had a couple of cans of beer and I wanted a couple more, so I got up to go out and my wife said, the vest. I said, no more. I refuse to live a lie. I'm standing up for vest wearers all over the world. I marched off down the off here. I've got 2 cans of Stella Artois. Put one in my back pocket, cracked the other one open. And I walked back from the off in my vest. I made a discovery. You drink a can of Stella and wear a vest, you get a bit of space. And on Time Team tonight, we're in Stratford on Avon, where we've uncovered loads of monkey skeletons and some typewriters. To be honest, I'm not interested in all this old nonsense, really, but since the end of Blackadder, the work's been fairly hard to come by.
The topic is culture.
Thank you. I know you're thinking this man doesn't enjoy culture. Well, you're right, I hate it. Now, I am an intellectual. I know I left school with nothing, but I did go to university later on when I got a degree when I was 29. It was tough, speaking up during the lecture, knowing everyone's thinking, blimey, the window cleaner's keen, isn't he? But when I came out, when I got the degree, I thought, that's it, I'll be interested in things now, won't I? It's all going to be fine. So I thought I'll go back to the art galleries again. Went into the art gallery. I don't like art galleries. I'm never quite sure how long you're supposed to look at the pictures for. I should give you a bit of guidance, you know, because I can crack on in a gallery, I really can. 3 or 4 minutes. Boss, that's not bad, that's not bad, that's not bad. Just mess that up. I can be over by the door in about 5 minutes. The wife's crying at a Matisse. Come on, love, there's a Wetherspoons round the corner. But the other thing is, you've got to enjoy looking at other cities, apparently. The city break, does it actually exist, the city break? Is it a real thing? Went with the wife to Prague the other week, and she said, after a couple of days, she said, are you enjoying yourself? I said, yeah, I've just paid 15 quid for 2 cups of coffee. But at least we've got that bridge to walk over again, haven't we? Because I've never done that before. Or maybe we could go to the castle. Thank you very much. Who's the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A? What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
And subject is fashion.
Now, I'll tell you about fashion. Now, a few years ago, I was looking for a new image. So I started going on stage like this, thinking that'll create an image for me. They'll go, oh, you've seen the geezer, stunning looking, where's his top button done? But I subsequently found out the image this tends to create is you're a wanker. So I looked into the whole issue of it, and I'll tell you the situation with the shirt button, OK? So, because the people don't really thought of like that, they tend to undo their top button. There we go. It's better, isn't it? However, it's not enough. Still a bit too high. Still a bit of tension in the room. What you really want is one more. Watch. See that? It's palpable, isn't it? Everyone's going, whoa, thank God for that. That is the level of buttonage we require from a man going out for the evening to the all bar one. Very good. However, if I go one more, I'm suddenly back to being an arsehole again. How tough is it being a man knowing that you're going through life only ever one button away from being a wanker or an arsehole?
Very good. Well done all of you. The points there. And go to Simon and Mickey. Come on, let's sit down.
Here, Sarge, pass us the arts section out the Guardian, will you, mate? I was about to arrest her, Sarge, but to be honest, my bottle went because she shouted out, "I put a curse upon you!
OK.
OK, here we go. The first subject is extracts from DVDs that would never sell.
Welcome to exercise for manic depressives. Down, up, down.
Welcome to this How to Use a DVD instruction DVD. First, put this DVD in the slot for the DVD.
Steven Spielberg, Circumcision, the director's cut.
Welcome to the Suffragette Story with me, Miley Cyrus.
Ready to get fit, ladies? It's Johnny Depp, Pilates of the Caribbean.
The main point of this self-help DVD is that only you can help you. No need for me, then? Thanks for the 20 quid.
Hello, welcome to Funeral Etiquette. When's the right time to fart?
We are in Africa filming the continent's biggest predator, Madonna in Malawi.
Welcome to the best of German. Who do you think you are? So, your grandfather was a... OK, we'll leave it there.
Welcome to the best of Test Match Special. That one works. That really helps.
This is the DVD you've been waiting for. All the tweets of Alan Sugar read out loud by Stephen Hawking.
Welcome to Filthy Dirty Nurses 2, the rise of MRSA.
Hello, I'm Ed Byrne. Welcome to Wank Yourself Skinny.
Work yourself thin with me, teen sensation Stuart Francis.
It's the DVD we've all been waiting for. Two politicians discussing Rwanda.
Unlikely chat-up lines.
No, should have gone to Specsavers.
My name's Ed. What's it short for? Dunno, it's just always been like that.
You had me at hello, which is why most of my friends think I'm a bit of a slag.
Your father must have been a thief, and I'm going to catch him if it's the last thing I do. Your father's got a prison.
It's a loyalty card. Every 10 shags, I buy you a present.
Hey, are you a parking ticket? Because I picked you up on the street and now I can't afford to pay you.
Love is blind, and so am I. Now let me feel your face so I know you're not a munter. I'd say my approach to sex is a lot like the government's approach to Brexit. I go in hard and then pull out when I realise I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, so when you sit there seductively licking your lips, that's sexy. But when I do it, I'm weird and should get off your lips.
You look like $1 million. Less impressive than you would have done 10 years ago.
I like my men like I like women.
Hey, girl, you must be tired, because you look real tired. Get some rest, lady.
Well, I hope you're nothing like my ex-girlfriend. She was so demanding. Always asked me to text her when I got in. That's how small my penis is.
So do you come here often? To this STD clinic?
If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together, which is why I was fired from my job as an English teacher.
Roses are red, violets are red, you are red, the sky is red, I'm bleeding in the eyes.
You've got an arse that just won't quit, despite calling an election and losing a majority.
You don't look like you did through the binoculars.
If I said you had a nice body, would you hold it against me? While I cry on your shoulder, I'm so lonely, God, I'm so lonely.
On a first date, I always like to go Dutch. I don't mean I split the bill, but I'll do some really kinky stuff in clogs.
I like my women like I like my coffee. Always getting my name wrong.
If you were on an Indian menu, you would have 3 chilies next to you, because you make me shit myself.
Unlikely lines from a cosmetics commercial.
Are you an older woman struggling with her facial hair? Try Gillette, the best a nan can get.
Would you like lashes with more volume? Lashes!
You don't need lip liner or eyeliner with our new bin liner.
What goes into our true naked, infallible moisture, crushing nature, colour palette body moisturiser? A selection of random words that mean fuck all.
What's my secret for smooth skin? I'm 20.
Is your hair out of control? Do you wear wacky shirts? Well, hey, you're great just how you are.
You want fuller, rounder lips? I recommend a nut allergy.
Are you tired of missing out on the opportunities that your peers get? Try White Privilege Foundation.
Here comes the science. Global warming is real. None of this matters.
We in the German city of Cologne have a fragrance called Birmingham.
This apricot scrub removes the surface layers to leave you with the smoothest, most rejuvenated apricot you have ever seen.
And for one last time, it's me, the returning officer.
This product makes your eyelashes look really big by shrinking your eyeballs.
Want that football hooligan abroad look? Why not try oil of ole, 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 ole?
Sorry, has anyone seen The Returning Officer?
Any messages?
Our new powder gives you the confidence to hit the town. Cocaine!
Now we play a round called Mock the Creek without a paddle. This game involves Hal and Josh, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is our stand-up challenge. I launch a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is the North-South divide. Hal.
The North-South divide, yes. I believe we should build a wall and make it official. I do. Obviously, you know, Northerners can build it. Well, pay for it. But it's all built on stereotypes. The assumptions are it's all built on stereotypes. Like, I have relatives in Grimsby who come to London and look for London to fulfil its stereotype. So they walk round going, oh, it's so unfriendly, no one chats to each other. And I say to them, why this constant need to chat? In Grimsby. I said to them, there was a little less chat and a bit more reading. Grimsby could be a cultural and economic superpower, it really could. But the assumption is ridiculous, though. The assumption that everybody down south is rich is unfair. Like London, yes, very wealthy city. It's also got the biggest concentration of poverty in the UK is in London. That's a fact. Not me, thank God. God, no. Don't be silly. No. This goes tits up. Mummy bails me out. But, see, maybe that's why I've got a thing about this, because I am from a very middle-class southern family, and I am a bit of a middle-class southern twat. You know, we're one of those families that meet and everything is lovely. It's like, so how are you? Are you well? Yes, I'm lovely. Are you lovely? I'm lovely too. But we're not really lovely. We can't do confrontation, the middle classes. That's why you never see us on the Jeremy Kyle show. Ever. She's sleeping with your best mate! Well, obviously, I'm not happy about it, Jeremy. It'd be rubbish, isn't it? They're having a baby, she stole money off you to buy drugs. She is a bit of a character, isn't she?
Thank you very much, Hal. Well done. Now we're left with Josh. Let's see what you have. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the home. Josh Whittaker.
My flatmate is kind of
filling our kitchen full of all the kind of pointless things my mum has in her home now. I don't know if you've got... We've just got this tea bag saucer, the saucer for tea bags. It's a very useful item. If you haven't got it, what it is, it's a saucer that you keep halfway between your kettle and your bin. And it's basically for when you make a cup of tea and then you get the tea bag, look across at the bin and go... I mean, that's a journey, isn't it? I mean, that's 3 or 4 yards. I mean, I need a stop-off. That's like driving to Leeds. I could drive tiredness. Then you walk halfway, put your tea bag down, go back, pick up your cup of tea and walk past the bin and out the kitchen. All we've done is create a kind of tea bag death row. That's all we've done. We've got our tea bag sauce on our breakfast bar. If you haven't got a breakfast bar, what it is, it's an extra yard of sideboard. And it's for eating your breakfast. It's when you wake up in the morning, you want to eat your breakfast, but you think, bloody hell, it's too early for a table, isn't it? I mean, I can't handle one of them until lunchtime. I mean, what I want is something slightly higher and less comfortable. That's what I'm looking for here. There's one thing I don't want to eat at 8 a.m. It's a bar. That is the reason I feel so shit in the first place.
Well done to both of you. At the end of that round, points to both of you. Come on back.
Now, we play a round called The End is Nigel. This game involves Olga Koch and Nigel Ung. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers will step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is nationality. Who wants to come in that?
I'll take it.
Olga.
Hell yeah! Hi. Nationality is a very big topic for me because I'm originally from Russia and I need to start every set like that because I know that they're listening. I have a very Russian name. My name is Olga. Olga is the most common name in Russia. It is, of course, Old Slavic for I wish you were a boy. My last name is K-O-C-H. It's meant to be pronounced Koch, but if you're living in an English-speaking country, 8 out of 10 times I am Olga Koch. I ran for student government of my high school under the slogan, I want me some cock. And I won. Also, I don't know if you know this, but in Russia, we don't have middle names, we have patronyms. So instead of another name, I have my father's name. So if you look into my passport, it literally says Olga Alfred's cock. So I never forget where I come from. I was born in 1992, shortly after Russia elected its first ever president, which started a very long history of Russian people electing presidents all over the world.
Thank you very much. Olga. That leaves us with Nigel. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. Now, the topic is food and drink. Where you go?
I'm foreign too. Yeah, I get the immigrants to do it. It's cheaper, you know? I'm from Malaysia originally, and I moved to the UK 4 years ago, mainly for comedy, and so I can drink tap water and not shit myself. Yeah. Favorite part of your country, by the way? Pretty great here, right? Tap water? Yeah. Ironing my shirt today, got a little bit thirsty, just spray some ironing water straight into my mouth. No malaria, nice. When I first moved here, I asked the guy here, like, what's the worst thing you have in your UK tap water? You know what he told me? Lime scale. Well, what the hell is lime scale? Does it give you a headache? Does it make you vomit? He said, no, it just makes the inside of your kettle a little bit white. Life must be so hard for you. With your kettle discoloration problems. I love scale. I eat all the scale now, all right? I'm gonna go home and lick my teapot later. Even when you take the trains here, even the train toilets tell you the tap water in there is not drinkable, right? I'm like, okay, we'll see about that. It turns out they're right. Set myself in the real replacement bus service.
Well done. Very good. Points there for Olga. I'll redo them. Come on, come back. Thank you.
We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Catherine, which category would you like?
Politics.
OK, politics it is. The answer is 10 billion. What is the question?
Is it how many hours of community service will Justin Lee Collins have to do before a girl agrees to date him again? Is it how many undeserved chances will Rihanna give Chris Brown?
This is the news that at the Conservative Party conference in Birmingham this week, Chancellor George Osborne announced that in its drive to reduce the deficit, the government will cut a further £10 billion in the welfare budget by 2017. Where's that going to come from?
Well, just checking, they're not cutting friends with benefits, right?
Still fine. That's still grand. Up to the age of 25. Who has received a hero's welcome at the conference?
Batman!
Yes, the bit where Batman came. No, not Batman.
Oh, Boris.
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson said he wanted to be tough on crime. And this was after, apparently, he's had 6 bikes nicked. And you're wondering, has he really had 6 bikes nicked? Or 6 times he just hasn't got a clue where he in fact left?
What was the hero's welcome? What did they do for him?
So they kind of clapped. It wasn't like they threw rose petals or anything like that. They were just very happy to see him.
Well, a hero's welcome. You know, in Aladdin, when he's on the elephant and it's, hey, clear the way in the old bazaar. Hey, you, let us see. It's a bright new star. Oh, come be the first on the block to meet his eye. You know, you're gonna love this guy. That... The hero's welcome.
I defer to your definition of a hero's welcome. At no point did Boris arriving on, near, or confusingly like an elephant.
The question is, would you recommend this A&E department to your friends and family? Well, what are you going to say to them? Oh, well, don't worry, you've had an accident. You're going to St Mark's, and that's got a cracking A&E.
It's the beginning of Casualty. Wasn't it? Just a man falling off his shed onto his garden rake and then crawling to his laptop to go on TripAdvisor.
Or just come home to your partner, square up and go, I'm going to send you someplace nice.
Well, I've never heard domestic violence put quite as charmingly as that.
Is it earth, wind, and douchebag? Well, David Blaine, he used to be an illusionist, and now he's an endurance performer, which just sounds like homeless to me. David Blaine's biggest magic trick is staying relevant to me.
And it's nationality. Who wants to give me that? Catherine.
Hello. I'm of mixed heritage, actually. I talk like a Canadian, but I tolerate my partner's drinking like an Irish girl. I travel a lot, from London to Ireland, and anyone who's flown Heathrow to Cork knows that on your way to the plane, they have signs reminding you how many chances you've got left to get drunk. They're like 6 licensed shops, 2 shops, 1 shop. It's like, what? Before I board an aircraft filled with wine to get to the land of Guinness? And the final shop is right at the gate. And in that shop, there's a sign that says, no ID, no sale. And I'm like, this is an international airport. How about no ID? How'd you get on the plane? It is in the boarding lounge. If a terrorist manages to sneak through levels of security at the world's busiest international airport, give him a pint.
Thank you very much, Catherine Ryan.
Is it Harvest Festival attracts troublemaker?
No, it's holy F, a Teletubby. Looking at the whole picture, is it the London Underground, where sexy singles meet?
He said that he's never going to talk to anyone on the tube again. I want to be there when a tourist comes up to him and goes, is this Marble Arch? And he has to go...
Well, it's the only way they'll learn. We'll have to go through that. Hello, Londoner. I'm just out from Ireland. I was wondering what train I should... Oh, you're going? OK, I'll try another one.
I would talk to you, Mr. O'Brien.
Yeah.
I would take you to your destination and carry your bags.
Thank you very much. But you are a foreigner. I've been here too long and now I shun you as well. Hello.
All right. I'll pretend I'm on a tube. Ask me a question.
Hello, sir. I was wondering if you knew this is the perfect place to change for the Jubilee line.
Excuse me, I was wondering if this is the right place for... I want to get to Buckingham Palace.
It's shameful. This man is a pioneer, the first man ever to speak on the tube. And your people, instead of lifting him up, you punish him by making him coach your football team.
Some scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, the first subject is lines you wouldn't hear in a Bond movie.
Hey, it's me, Pussy. Pussy no more? Yeah, I'm post-op now. It's going real good.
Unlikely things to hear at a party conference.
Let's get drunk and join the Euro. Here in support of Testicular Cancer Awareness Week, it's Shadow Chancellor Ed Ball.
Or still as cool as ever, it's Entourage, the movie.
In the interim, she had taught the parrot to slag him off.
You can do that with real-life kids. This is an outrage. It's an absolute outrage. I think we forget sometimes who the real victims are. And it's people like me who see the word FIFA. I know that word means football. There's a secret history that you guys know all about. I have no idea what's going on. I thought they got arrested because all their migrant workers were dying all over the place. That's apparently not the problem.
Also in the news this week, who can tell me what's going on here?
Is that Barack Obama playing pretzel buckaroo?
Or is Barack shaking the hand of the very pretzel that choked George W. Bush? He's having a nice time. No breakfast is ever made better by Stephen Harper or David Cameron showing up to it. It's not like he's waiting to start the party when Cameron gets there.
Boy, aye. From the other side, they all turn and Cameron's like, hey! Here it comes.
The answer is 5. But what is the question?
Is it, how many basic bitches does it take to escort Kate Moss off an EasyJet flight?
Is that a thing? Is that like a...
I'm a pretty basic bitch.
I think you're an ornate bitch, right? I think
You think I'm a ratchet-ass hoe?
Well, I didn't want to make it too obvious, so I've got a little soft spot for you.
Is it how many names are currently written on Taylor Swift's blank space?
Is it as a...
I know it's a song. I know Taylor Swift.
You know Taylor Swift?
Hate.
Is this what we do? If ever we mention any band and you're going to do an impression?
No, that's not what's going to happen here.
Is it Kate Bush?
Commercials that never made it to air.
FIFA Summer Sofa Sale. Total office clear out. Bribe now, pay later. Why pay more for ratchet, trifling-ass pilots when you can get to where you're going on EasyJet? A basic bitch will get you there.
Lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
This man can now reach the full potential of his brain. Joey, wake up. You can tie your shoes. Reem. The dinosaurs are killing everyone. Why do we keep reopening this park? Who keeps giving us public liability insurance?
We throw it around called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask me to tell me what's happening. So here's a picture of the 4 Labour leadership hopefuls. What's going on here?
Is it AshleyMadison.com relaunches with hip new image? Is it a charity appeal? Like, for £3 a month, you could buy these deluded fools fresh water and false hope. They're calling it Corbyn mania, but you can't just put mania at the end of a word and think that it means something. Like Beatlemania, that was when they played to 55,000 people in Shea Stadium. Corbyn mania is 1,100 bored pensioners in Norfolk.
Congratulations to the Germans, but I'm going to say it. Historically, I've never forgiven them. No. Do you remember Frank Lampard's goal in the 2010 World Cup? That was way over the line. What? No way is this outweigh that.
You mean 800,000...
No wonder they're trying to be the good guys of Europe.
You think this whole... taking in 800,000 refugees...
It would have made it 2-all, Dara!
Maybe that's it, Josh. Germany's getting World Cup points for each Syrian that they let in. I've already got a $5 on a German Syrian to win Eurovision. I just like the narrative.
There is an element to which, like, Germany won the World Cup and the team was partly Turkish as well. Like, whatever. This thing does work in sport. Mo Farah, anyone? You know? Because, you know, there is another, you know, migrant came over here. Like, they will boast your sporting chances, lads.
Mo Farah is a Somalian who acquires gold on land. Nothing I don't like about him.
On the board are 6 categories. Ed, which category would you like?
Home news, please.
Home news it is. The answer is 63 years. What is the question?
Is it how long before the Lib Dems can legitimately book a conference room again?
What unusual present might people be giving this Christmas?
I think it's actually sperm.
It is sperm. Yes, it is sperm. Yeah.
But this
not an unusual gift. Horrific return policy. Not interested.
You said 14 days.
Oh, you've lowered the tone, Dara!
How have I ruined it? How have I ruined it? Unlikely things to hear on breakfast TV.
The world of show business has suffered another tragic loss. But don't worry, it's one of the ones you already thought was dead. If you hear a knock at your door, you could be the winner of £20,000. 2 knocks and it's a police raid. Hide the guns.
The next topic is lines you wouldn't read in a romantic novel.
She felt every part of his 8 inches. He was stiff, absolutely wretched, and even in her innocence, she knew her hamster was dead. Jeremy Corbyn, you've got me blindfolded. What are you going to do now? Nothing. I just wanted to highlight the injustice of inmates detained at Camp X-Ray without a fair trial.
The next topic is things a sports commentator would never say.
England have won the World Cup.
And that was 11.3 seconds. Sorry, Michael, you will not be getting a second date.
Ronaldo there being booked by the referee for taking his shirt off. He should know the rules by now. You are not allowed to take the referee's shirt off.
Well, in this Grand National, as they come round to the chair for the second time, the music stops. Red rum is eliminated.
And you join us now for the diving. Here we go. Oh, that wasn't very impressive. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, no, you join us here for the swimming. Right.
Well, I think from here he's going to go for the top right-hand corner, and he does! That is how you stick on a stamp.
Judges there, all very impressed. A textbook reverse tuck. You're watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Is that Maria Sharapova or Mark the Week's Olga Koch?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We've got a very exciting afternoon of sport ahead of us, but first, the golf.
Welcome to the World's Strongest Man competition, where we see Dave from Sunderland attempt to pull a bus. They really will shag just anything.
And now time for the gay horses. I mean, dressage.
And he has rested the ball there perfectly on the cushion. This really is a lovely new saddle they've made for Lance Armstrong.
Well, at the start of the day, I asked if he'd got the bottle. Now he has proved he has got the bottle. That is my bottle. Give me my bottle.
Will it be gold? Will it be silver? Will it be bronze? Who knows what colour the Russians' urine test will be?
Oh, and here they come, running onto the field, completely naked, wearing nothing but shoes. This is an absolute... Sorry? I'm being informed that horses always look like that. This is my first time doing the ground.
At the end of that round, the points go to Olga, you and Reese.
Who have scientists discovered in a cave this week?
I'm so excited about this story, but I can't pronounce the name, and I'm worried about... I know they're not here to get offended.
They're not.
The Homo naledi, or naladi.
Nadali. Homo nadali. Yeah.
Nadali.
Excuse me, Homo naledi. Just think of...
No, can we just savor that moment where he corrected your pronunciation by getting the word completely wrong? Yes. Can we all just enjoy that for a second?
It's impossible to say it. I was probably
without
doing the milady.
Give it its full name. It's Homo no lady no cry.
The reason I love this story is so they found a few bodies from 100 years apart in a cave.
Oh.
This guy, this idiot.
That's a Homo naledi.
Yeah.
The find was announced last Thursday by the South African University of the Witwatersrand, National Geographic and the UK science journal eLife. That is a spooky cover of the National Geographic, yes.
Yeah, they have your hooded eyes there.
But the thing is, this is all...
I would find it very hard to believe if the production staff of the show had not done a photograph of that and made it look like you.
I would like to think that.
Why? No.
I am not doing the face.
Well, listen, I'll tell you
Hold
one
the
thing.
face.
I am not getting on that megabus.
Now that, I think, is a thing.
I think we know where this is going now, don't we?
Yeah, there we go. Wow.
You look the happiest out of all three.
What health U-turn has the government made this week?
It's on cigarette packaging. They were planning to say that cigarettes were going to have to come in plain white packets.
In Canada, and they have the photographs on the package as well, but they also have in the French provinces, like in Quebec, they've got it in both English and in French, the health warnings. And I bought a packet of cigarettes, and on one side it said cigarettes cause cancer, and on the other side it said le cigarette cause le cancer. Was that really entirely necessary? If it wasn't for that le, and then like the French people, there is no le, they could not be talking to us. I will smoke with impunity.
If you want to put people off smoking, just make one cigarette in every packet explosive. How about that? Or genetically modify cigarettes so that as you smoke them, they go, help, I'm shrinking, I'm shrinking!
It's like the government's Drink Aware campaign, though, is it? Who doesn't actually drink aware? Who has 4 pints of Stella, starts dribbling, punching themselves in the face, going, this has come as a complete shock to me.
On Health Matters, what is Michael Gove being encouraged to do?
Fuck off.
That's not going out.
Chris, he only asked a question, it's his job.
OK. On Health Matters, what is Michael Gove being encouraged to do?
Piss off.
Ask again! Ask again!
Baskin, if you keep asking, we can get the swearing down each time. So by the end, it's just shove off, you Nancy.
Oh, it really is the last show in the series. When are we playing Kerplunk? And
the difference
can I ask the question?
No, you've already asked it 3 times. Why don't you answer it yourself? You've got the answers.
Well, what's the point of us being here?
The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a news programme.
As I report from my 6th day here in war-torn Syria, I think the lesson learned is that I should never have called my producer a wanker.
According to statistics, the French economy is now the weakest growing of all the economies in Europe.
Sport now. All Manchester United fans, please look away.
You've reached Al Jazeera News, which means you're only 20 channels away from actually finding porn.
Here, you'll never guess who's dead.
Just time now to see what the papers say.
We will now attempt to talk to the survivors of the cliff fall. You all right, mate?
After the fire in the aromatherapy candle factory, the situation is now calm.
And now over to our foreign correspondent. Do you speak English?
Now it's time for the news near you.
Hello!
There are human remains on the blood-stained streets and the despair in the eyes of everyone you meet. Rob Beckett for BBC News, Magaluf.
There continues to be heavy shelling here. Ramesh Ranganathan at the peanut factory.
Now it's over to our toys and games correspondent, Natasha Kaplunksky.
And eventually the sun will go supernova, the earth will become dark and frozen, and everyone will die. That was the long-range weather forecast.
To my right, in my peripheral vision, Andy Parsons is showing us his penis. More on that as it unfolds.
We go over now to our vegan correspondent. I'm terribly sorry. He appears to have gone strawberry.
And David Cameron has delivered on all his promises to the Scottish people.
Just time for a quick look at tomorrow's papers. So the Times and the Telegraph lead with industrial strife, and in the Sun we can see that Caroline from Dagenham has got a terrific pair of norks.
This game involves Nathan Caton and Ed Gamble, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is the stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first topic is home life. Nathan.
Yeah, I could talk about home life. I still live at home with my mum still. Thanks for the judgmental silence. Yeah, I live at home. My mates give me the most stick for it, because I'm the last one in my group of friends who still lives at home with my mum. They've all moved out, so they see me as a mummy's boy. And every time they see me, they're like, Nathan, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you still at your mum's, man? Aren't you embarrassed? Why are you still at your mum's? Why are you still at your mum's? It's like, I live in West London. Have you seen house prices? I'm not going anywhere, man. If anything, I'm looking at my mum thinking, when are you going to bloody leave? Clinging on, let it go, woman. She's gonna slap the black off me when she sees this. So, yeah, I like peace and quiet. Although, to be honest, at home, I'm not getting a lot of peace and quiet at the moment, mainly because of my mum and my stepdad. They got married quite recently. And I'm happy for my mum. You know, she's found happiness. She deserves it. However, at the moment, they're going through that honeymoon phase where they're having sex all the time. Yeah, it is bloody disturbing, man. Because my bedroom is, like, right next door. So, like, every time they do it, I hear everything. Like, a few Saturdays ago, right? It's late at night. I'm about to go to sleep. From next door, I can hear my stepdad going, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, Lord, say something nasty, say something nasty, say something nasty. So I screamed out, you're not my real dad!
Thank you very much, Devin. OK, that leaves us with Ed. Let's see what topic you've been left with. And the topic is diet.
I hope this isn't just a hint that I need to lose weight. I've lost quite a lot of weight recently anyway. I've lost about 6 stone in the last 3 years. Cheers, guys, thanks. I mean, no. Too late, you went with the British reaction. Thank you very much. Couldn't give a shit, mate. Carry on. We don't... Stop showing off. We don't want to hear about it. Found myself in a bit of a nightmare situation recently. I went to the Middle East to do some gigs. Now, that bit was nice, that was lovely, but they put you up in a hotel where the food is all-you-can-eat buffets 3 times a day for 10 days. Now, this is a nightmare scenario for me because I cannot be trusted at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Sometimes I don't even remember the buffet bit. All I remember is picking up a plate and I'll wake up 6 hours later covered in rice and sauce. And I can't theme a buffet. I can't theme a buffet either. I won't pick up a plate and go, oh, I'll have some rice, I'll have some curry. Well done, Ed, you've made yourself an Indian meal. Won't do that. I'll get a plate, I'll get a spoon, and I'll run along the full line of trays, just scraping food from every nation onto it until I've got some sort of plate Pangea, just an unidentifiable mass, just Spanish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, coffee, sushi, just horrible. Just wedge my face into it, everyone going, is that man all right? Don't look at me! I'm having a buffet! Just food from all over the world. My body for 10 days had no idea where I was on this planet. I went for a shit 3 days in, a UN flag came out.
The first subject is alternative medicine. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
Apparently, a lot of people trying to get into therapy at the moment, other people knocking it, saying, you know, oh, well, you should just lose your inhibitions, talk about your problems to your friends. I thought I'd try this. I talked about my problems to my friends for a whole hour. Lost my inhibitions, also lost my friends. I now tell my problems to taxi drivers. 2 advantages in this. 1, it stops the taxi driver from telling you his problems. And 2, it's amazing how much quicker you get to your bloody destination.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know,
The way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots who give birth to their children aged 2 that charge you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And sat there listening, and then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 string. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, there with him, I couldn't believe how you put up my frazzles. There he was!
Russell Howard. OK, the leads are Hugh and Frankie. The next topic is sport.
Do you know, I've heard a rumour that horse racing may not be completely honest. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But how do you stop the corruption? Well, one solution may be to call horses something like mafia-backed second favourite. Because if everyone did that, everyone would be confused, no one would know who to bet on, and the whole thing would be fair again. And off, and the first to show is blatantly bribe, followed by mafia-backed second favourite. They're just ahead of Dope to the Gills, Mysterious Limp, and just behind them, Out for a Canter, and I'll Fall at the Fifth. And as they come to the fifth, I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen. I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen at the fifth in a magnificent display of cheating. And they're coming into the final furlong. Mysterious Limp is slowing. Out for a Canter is clearly struggling, but coming through strongly is mafia-backed second favourite. And as they cross the line, mafia-backed second favourite has won it, which is remarkable, seeing as he has no head. That's been left in someone's bed for tomorrow morning.
Well done, you. Well done, you. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. And it's environment.
Didn't that used to be an advert for mints? Ryanair getting a hard time from the environmental lobby because they've launched a £7 flight to New York. Although, as always with Ryanair, it does land slightly outside New York, in Dublin. It's a pity we can't harness more natural energy, isn't it? Pity we can't harness the power of British moaning. Oh no, that moaning-powered light bulb's on the blink again. Oh no, there it is, back on. Everyone complained about the floods, didn't they? I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. What I like to do during a storm is shag my girlfriend and pretend that we're taking part in the conception of the Antichrist.
Frankie Boyle, ladies and gentlemen. The first subject is relationships. Who wants to come in that? Reece.
It's a pretty exciting time for me at the moment. My girlfriend is currently planning the wedding. Sorry, not girlfriend anymore, is it? I keep doing that. It's not girlfriend. She gets so annoyed. My ex-girlfriend is planning her wedding. It's very hurtful for me to watch, but one of those things. Anyway, got a new girlfriend now, because that's how comedy works. Got a new one, and she's all right, my girlfriend. She's pretty good. She's not perfect. She's got her quirks and her tics, like she pronounces it espresso instead of expression. She's weird. And relationships about compromise, though, aren't they? We all know that. Like, she doesn't want to watch football, and I don't want to die alone, so we don't watch football. That's the yin and the yang. You give and you take. We're trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep it exciting, me and my girlfriend, you know, trying to keep it, you know, lively, try new things all the time. Like, she keeps talking about how she wants to have sex outside of the relationship. I don't know. Constant surprises, me and my girlfriend. She bought me a gift the other day. I went round to the flat. There was this gift. It was a word of the day calendar. Don't know if you've seen these. Pretty cool. Different word every day of the year. That is more than 100 words. Pretty cool. Favourite word for me so far from the calendar? Exponentially. Ah, what a word. Exponentially. Use it all the time now. In fact, I'd say, ever since learning the word exponentially, my use of the word exponentially has increased loads. I use it all the time. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Reece. That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is transport.
So I got here by train. For the whole journey, there was a child opposite screaming. I could even hear him through my wolf mask.
But it was a quiet carriage and people were getting annoyed, so in the end, we both stopped howling. And a stewardess got on the train. She looked at me and said, "Do you mind if I do my makeup on the train?" I said, "Well, it's still going to look like a train, isn't it?" She put her hand out and said, "I'm Amber." I said, "Yes, I think you've overdone the makeup." Anyway, one thing led to another, and, well, I'm going to skip a bit now. I was sitting in traffic the other day, and I got run over.
The first subject is jobs. Who wants to come in that? Glenn.
There were loads of jobs I wanted when I was a kid, whether it was starting up a Ouija board business with my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, or becoming a detective like Poirot or Craig David's girlfriend's parents in Fill Me In. I always wanted to be a movie star, you know, like a proper method actor like Eddie Murphy, because, you know, Eddie Murphy is so method and so committed that to get into the role of a vet in Dr. Dolittle, Eddie Murphy actually spent 10 years starring in lots of other shit films. It's so expensive everywhere you go if you don't have a job, you know? Like, I stopped getting haircuts after a while because there's hidden costs even when you get a haircut. Like, you think you're paying for just the haircut, and then at the end of the haircut, the hairdresser does that really annoying thing where they try and convince you to buy one of their mirrors and go, "Oh, what do you think of this?" Do you know what I say? I don't want to buy one of your mirrors. I want you to wash my hair at an angle I've otherwise never been at. So expensive everywhere you go. Like, I used to get the bus to work every day. Get this, £29 per bus journey. £29 per bus journey is insane. And not as insane as this woman who used to sit on the top deck every day with a microphone telling us where in London we were. But £29 per bus journey, you can't even afford a roof. It takes 3.5 hours to get between Buckingham Palace and Westminster, neither of which are places I work at. But, you know, for the first time in my life, I thought, I've got a job. I can buy things. I can buy things for my room. I can buy a chest of drawers and a desk lamp and a flashing neon halal sign for my window. And when you get a job, you think, oh, great, now I'm a proper grown-up. Next step, getting married, having kids, so I can be one of those proper adults who can call themselves on Facebook and LinkedIn a father to 2 amazing daughters, mother to 3 amazing sons. And I can't call myself that because I don't have those kids, and people don't really like it when I call myself a nephew to 3 gorgeous uncles.
Thank you very much, Glenn. OK, that leaves us with James. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is growing up.
Oh, I thought it was feet for a second there. You grow up in little bits and increments, in my opinion, bit by bit. I think the first time you become even a little bit of a grown-up is when your parents start letting you make your own squash. It's a big day, because until then, my mum was making all the squash all the time. And I don't want to offend Richard's watching, but it was the weakest-ass squash I've ever had in my life. It was so bad, I'd have to squint at it. Like, I guess that's got a vague orange tint to it. I'm trying to imagine what that tastes like as a flavour when I'm drinking it. Then you go around some other kid's house whose parents are a bit more laissez-faire. That squash knocks your socks off. It's incredible. I'd be like, whoa, you got access to this squash on the daily? He's like, yeah, but my parents don't pay me much attention. I'm worried they don't love me. It's like, I would leave it all in a heartbeat. But one sip of this squash, tell your dad I love him. Tell your dad I love him. I had to make a squash for my nephew recently. First time I made squash since I was living with my parents. I haven't done it in between because I'm an adult who doesn't have kids. And I know there are some adults watching who don't have kids who drink squash, but let me tell you, if you are the kind of person who drinks squash even though there's no kids in the house, you got bodies in the walls and heads in the freezer. I don't trust a single one of you. I was out of practice making squash and I had to make it for my nephew, let me tell you. I should have really, like, given myself a side view so I could see the glass proper, but I didn't. I'm 32. I got so close to the glass still, so I looked straight down at it. Just straight down. It was just a flat circle. I had no idea of depths or dimensions. I hoofed it in. I damn near gave that kid type 2. was bouncing off the walls on Fun Uncle James's mega squash, losing his mind, going looping. At one point, he starts asking me weird questions. He goes, Uncle James, how come my lip skin is different to the rest of my skin? I was like, I've never thought about that, but now you've said it, not a day's going to go by when I don't think about it. Imagine if your whole body was lip skin. It'd take you hours to get ready in the morning. She'd be stood there with a chapstick. That's if you were the only one covered in lip skin. Obviously, you'd have a little chapstick. If we were all lip skin and that was just the whole human race, then there'd be like a giant chapstick in the living room from floor to ceiling, rotating at the speed of a kebab spit. And the whole family would line up like cats on a scratching post. All over it in the morning. And then we'd walk out into a world where no one could shake hands for fear of becoming aroused.
Thank you very much, James. And that round, Paul's going to James Acaster. Well done. The first subject is credit crunch. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the government have got this idea that what they want to do is bankers who've lost their jobs, they want to retrain them as teachers, but in half the time it would normally take to train a teacher. I bet the teachers are happy about that, aren't they? Hey, these people were crap at banking. The chances are they're also going to be crap at teaching, and they'll be even crapper if they're trying to train them in half the time it would normally take. Yeah, these people, right, surely it'd be better to retrain them as bankers. That is what they were crap at.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is eating out. Who wants to talk about that? Rod.
I ate out the other day. That's what I went to Cardiff Bay. It's all changed, you know. They've done it all up, and it's all European development money. And some of the places now have got tables outside. It's al fresco dining in Wales. Just taking the piss. I think I tried to have a Twixt on a bus stop a few years ago down there. It was too wet to eat. So everyone's pretending it's Madrid down there. You know, your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it. I didn't get past my starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater I gave up. Everyone's pretending it's Madrid, don't they? Your soup bowl's filling up. There's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the tables going, spaghetti carbonara, spaghetti carbonara. I'll get another one, I'll get another one.
Rocklever. That leaves us with Tom and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is extreme sports. Who wants to come in on that?
No,
Tom.
why not? I went skydiving. I don't know if anybody here has ever gone skydiving, but if you haven't gone, I'll tell you what they do. They give you a couple lessons, then they bring you up into the plane, and you're not allowed to jump out of the plane on your own because it's too scary. So what they do is they hang you off the wing of the plane, which isn't scary at all. And the guy inside, he yells, "Let go!" 3 times. Then he gets mad. Starts kicking your hands. 'Cause I'm not letting go. We all skydive different. I skydive with a big plane in my hand.
OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, "Watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna..." I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, you don't like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put him on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out?
Well done, Russell. This is where we test our performance stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. That is just against nature. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the first topic is Britain. Who wants to come in on that?
Yes, I love Britain. Do you? Kind of. I think Britain's amazing, but I think we're quite hard on ourselves. Like, if you go to America and you do shows, they always get this thing where you go on stage in America, like in Chicago, and you say, oh, so what's Chicago like? And they go nuts. They go, woo, yeah, Chicago, woo, 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 for about a day. And then you come back over to Britain and you go to somewhere like Birmingham and you say, oh, so what's Birmingham like? And they all go, oh, it's a bit shit. I live in London, in Britain. I live in Kentish Town, which is lovely because it is actually like a Kentish town. Unfortunately, the town in Kent it's like is Maidstone, which is crap. North London's quite posh, though, because there's a hairdresser's near us, which is called the Elysian Fields Hairdressers. Oh, it's where heroic hair goes to die. Where I used to live in South London, the hairdresser was called We're Gonna Cut You, Slag.
Thank you very much for the supporter. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is sport. Who wants to come in on that?
So, hey, Freddie Flintoff, how drunk would he have been on Monday night? That's all I've got on that one. We have got a great new British hope for our sport, though. Laura Robson, Britain's tennis, 15 years old, both her parents Australian. We don't mind immigration when they've got a bit of talent. We object to people sneaking into Britain on a rubber dinghy unless they can do it really bloody quickly.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. OK, that leaves us with Greg and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against the desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. I'm not going to teach them technique. Right, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, Greg, let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the human body.
I have to tell you that being a tall man in this country is tedious, ladies and gentlemen. Tedious, because in small towns throughout the country, there are a series of jokes prepared by the locals on our behalf. I'll be walking innocently into a local pub or down the street, and I'll get several jokes. One of the jokes might be this. Just to give you an example of the level we're talking about. Another joke might be, what's the weather like up there? It's freezing. There's a massive climate change in this amount of space here, you toothless buffoon. Probably the most offensive example of this. This is genuine. I was at a cash point, and there was a little old woman in front of me at the cash point tapping away with her claws, and I'm sorry, I'm just quite angry about this. And when she'd finished, bless her heart, she turned around, and she hadn't seen me, she turned around and she went like this. Oh! Maybe not that sexually. She said, oh! And then with no hint of irony at all, she asked me this question. Would you like a job at my house, changing light bulbs? No. No, old woman. I have plans of my own. Now, get out of the way of the cash point. 20 minutes is long enough for you to have worked out that that's a Tesco club card.
Thank you very much, Greg. First subject is sleep. Ebra.
Does anyone here sleep with someone who snores? Yes. Well, I envy you, because I lie awake next to someone who snores. My wife snores terribly, and part of what keeps me awake is lying there going, how do you sleep through this? I can't sleep through it, I'm only next to it. The noise is inside your head. And how come you can sleep through that? But the sound of me making a sandwich in our kitchen, that wakes you up. There is no way me making a sandwich makes more noise than you're making right now. She snores. So she said the cutest thing to me one time, though. She says, do I not sound like a kitten purring? Bless. No. You sound like a cat drowning in porridge. If I had a kitten made that noise, I'd put it down. Apparently she had her nose broken a couple of times when she was a kid. Didn't teach her, she's still bleeding snores.
Thank you very much, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's a problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, the leads are Russell and Jack. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is television. Who wants to come into that? Jack.
I get very frustrated with pretty much everything on television. I find adverts at the moment particularly annoying, like the banking adverts, because they're trying to portray bankers as being nice people. Like, they've got this one at the moment for, like, a mobile bank that travels around the country, and you walk in and there's your friendly local bank manager acting like a hairdresser, like, nattering away. You know, you walk up to the till, it's like, oh, how was your holiday? I went camping. Oh, why did you go camping? Because you lost all of my money! Decided the only option I've got is just to not watch TV at all, because everything annoys me. And I've got quite a lot of people that pressure me into doing that as well. Like my dad, he's quite old-fashioned. He's always saying, you don't need to watch television. You should do other things, better things, more edifying things. Don't watch TV, Jack. You should read. Read the great novels. They're entertaining, they're educational. Even read the Bible. The Bible is engrossing. It's enthralling. The stories of Jesus, they're encapsulating, they're invigorating. I'm like, no, Dad. If I wanted to be entertained by 12 people sat round a table trying to impress some bearded Jewish know-it-all that thinks he's some kind of deity, I will watch The Apprentice.
Thank you very much, Jack Whitehall. OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was there a minute ago. This is most irregular. Huh? And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. It was like, His long-suffering dad is in the showers, obviously heard this and went, "That'll be my bloody boy!" Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, "Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public?" And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. "Dad, your willy's moving?" And you're just there going, oh, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell.
At the end of that round, the points go to Ed and Jack.
We play a round called Colonel Gagaffey. This game involves Holly, Stuart, Andy and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge who produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is international relations. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the new head of the Tamil Tigers, he's been arrested by Sri Lanka. Now, I always think the Tamil Tigers, they don't really sound like a terrorist group, do they? I always think they sound more like a rugby league team. It seems that even the terrorists are resorting to marketing techniques to try and get more members. Are we soon going to have the Al-Qaeda Rhinos? Will it be the Israeli Broncos against the Hamas Cowboys? Maybe it's not even the real IRA. Maybe it's Real IRA.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is dating. Who wants to come in on that? Holly.
My favourite way of meeting people at the moment is this thing called Close Encounters, or I Seek You. You might have seen this. It's the people who text into the free newspapers, and they go things like, "I was the girl in the grey jacket. You were the guy reading the book on the train. Call me." Have you seen these? I saw one the other day that said, "I was the guy in the skin-tight orange vest top. You were the girl pointing and laughing. Call me." "I was the guy in the tweed jumpsuit. You were any woman. Call me." My friend works for the only newspaper in Guernsey, and she said they tried to run one of those I Seek You columns, but they had to drop it after a week, because it was like, "I was the guy in the white apron," and everyone's reading it going, "Oh, that'll be Dave." There's only 7 people on this island, you stalker.
Thank you very much, Holly. OK, that leaves it with Stuart and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is the Consumer Society. Russell.
It's all a bit much, isn't it? I went into a shop the other day that said, "Why not try a guilt-free wrap?" You're like, don't make sandwiches evil. Sandwiches are lovely. The bacon sandwich, one of the loveliest thing in the world. What is a bacon sandwich? Essentially, it's bread giving a dead pig a cuddle. It's a lovely thing. I love you, Mr. Pig. Why do the Jews hate me? It's lovely. I was really down about it, and then I saw this wonderful thing that I think could only happen in the West Country. The bloke behind the counter in this shop yawned. The bloke in front of him, who did not know him, popped his finger in his mouth and went, "Ooh, yawn rape," and I nearly died. I had never seen a yawn rape. And now you've learned about it, you can't not do it. You'll be on a bus, you'll see an old yawn rape, you can't help it. Did the bloke behind the counter headbutt him? No, he didn't. The bloke behind the counter giggled and went, "It's a good job I didn't fart, wasn't it?" And you're sat there going, well, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, Stuart, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is health.
Oh, that was a long walk. OK, health. Money-wise, I'm set for life, provided I die next Tuesday. Ladies, I wasn't circumcised, I was circumnavigated. Just because I have arthritis doesn't mean I can't live a normal whole. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, but you know what they say. Unfortunately for agoraphobics, the cure is just around the corner. My manic depressive buddy was attacked by a bipolar bear. My therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. We'll see about that. My neighbor's in the Guinness Book of Records. He's had 43 concussions. He lives very close. In fact, just a stone's throw away. But the point. To your health, my friends.
At the end of that round, the points go to Stuart and Holly. The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Well, at 2 sets down, let's see what he's got in his locker. He's not going to be there for about 20 minutes. I've got a crowbar.
Serena Williams has been seeded. You've got to admire the bravery of that bloke.
Hello, I'm Sue Barker. You may remember my father, Chew Barker.
Well, they say that the All England Club is a bit behind the times, and that's why this small boy has just had his hand chopped off for stealing a strawberry.
I am a tennis umpire and gay, and it wasn't easy to come out.
What a fantastic slice, but I do think the All England Club will insist she wears knickers again next year.
Fuck off, Tim!
Well, how did the umpire get up there? I think he must have used a set bladder.
Of course, this year the British players play a lot better. If we look at this graph, we see huge biceps and an angry... Sorry, Steffi, wrong graph.
And for any of our Scottish viewers, what you can see there in that glass of Pimm's is fruit.
Andy Murray here. Andy Murray not being able to make it here today, but we do have his cab driver on the other line. Can you tell us what's occurred? I couldn't get out of the cab!
And the mound has taken a real pounding in the last fortnight. I think the All England Club are fine with it as long as it doesn't affect her tennis.
The points go to Alan, you and Milton.
Unlikely things to hear on Doctor Who.
When I was giving you a quote as your cleaner doctor, I was giving you a quote from the outside.
No, there isn't going to be a new doctor. I'm being replaced by a helpline.
That is the last time we park the TARDIS outside the Portaloos at Glastonbury.
Davros, we meet again. Oh, Lord Sugar, I'm so sorry.
Hey, saw you from across the TARDIS, and I think I regenerated in my pants.
Doctor, Doctor, you must help me. I think I'm a pair of curtains.
Tragic news about the ood. There's been a terrible flood. They tried to escape into the wood, but it didn't do any good, and now they're all dooed.
No, I'm a doctor who works for the World Health Organization.
Yes, I mainly hang around young women. Yes, I was on television in the 1970s. Where are you going with this?
You've got to believe me, Clara. This is our best chance. Now, unzip my flies and I'll explain later.
Let's go forward in time by an hour. Then we get a quid off the pizza.
Now, the first thing to remember on planet Xenon is turn off data roaming.
We are 10 million years in the future. H.G. Wells has just got married.
You are the doctor. I am the tracheotomy patient.
I am the doctor. I am 1,200 years old. And this is my assistant, who's 27. According to Alex Salmond, it was, you know, a lot of people over 55 in Scotland voted no. In fact, both of them voted no.
The good thing about voting for an independent Scotland is once you put your X in a box, you can cut it out and use it as a little flag.
I thought it was quite lucky for Alex Salmond in some ways that he didn't actually win. Because I think if he had won, his grin might have been so big that he might have eaten himself.
It was also swung supposedly by there was a poll, wasn't there? There was one poll which put the yes ahead, and they think that was a rogue poll, didn't they?
It was a YouGov poll that was 51-49. There would be one guy in the YouGov office who's had an awkward meeting where they went, Terry, every poll, even the results, except your poll, Terry. Who did you ask? Who did you ask?
I love the phrase rogue poll because it sounds like an unwanted erection.
Actually sounds like a Daily Mail headline.
Rogue polls. Rogue polls have been ruining this country. Then they ruined Scotland. Unbelievable.
It's so embarrassing for David Cameron, just after this poll came out, then suddenly he's like, we'll give you loads of powers, honestly, and we'll give you cakes, and it's going to be amazing. Like, please stay. We're really going to look after you, I promise. It's going to be incredible. We're going to have a theme park and a roller coaster and whatever you want. Please stay, please.
And now they've tried to stay, and he's going, oh, yeah. I said a lot of things, didn't I?
What I didn't understand about the Scottish election thing was if the Scottish didn't want to be part of Great Britain, where were they going to live?
The big question which was asked on the night, and it was amazing how quickly it was asked. What was the major question people were asking then on the night?
It wasn't yes or no.
No, it very quickly became, what does this mean for England? Like, within 10 minutes, Scotland was like, oh, hang on, we're still here, you know. Let's go back down to London and ask people what it means for England. Well, this is what I think it'll mean for England. Well, what do you think? I think it'll mean this for England. And Scotland only goes, we've not even given you the results yet. We know
the Welsh have been complaining, haven't they? And it's fair enough. It was always going to be, you know, the Scots got a parliament and the Welsh got an assembly. You know, so the Scottish had a proper parliament and the Welsh, they just had a quick head count followed by singing Morning is Broken.
The Welsh are getting stroppy, actually. I was in Cardiff in Waterstones recently. I asked for Pride and Prejudice and the bloke said, I'm proud to be Welsh and I hate the English.
But it will never stop, so you get down to smaller and smaller areas, won't you, wanting power. There'll be referenda in smaller and smaller areas, and then you don't know how to... It's the question in the referendum, I guess. But so in the North East, it would have... You couldn't have yes, no. It would have to be aye and no. In Essex, it would be all right and bollocks to that. And in Kensington and Chelsea, it would be no and OMG, totes defo we are.
Things you wouldn't hear on a cookery show.
You can, of course, make your own pasta if you've got too much time on your hands, you pretentious prick.
Well, while we're waiting for the rice to cook, that'll take another 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going for a poo.
So I used to be one of those chefs that shouts and swears a lot, but then I discovered oven gloves.
Today, I'm using a Smeg fridge, which is just like a normal fridge that I don't clean regularly enough.
If you're having trouble whipping them up into stiff peaks, have you tried gently cupping their balls?
Oh, and welcome to Cooking After You've Come Home Pissed. Tonight we're doing a cup of soup that's slightly gone past its best before date. It tastes a bit better if you put some HP sauce in it.
Now, try not to drizzle too much oil on the lamb or it will wriggle free and escape.
I don't know about you, but I really love upside-down pineapple cake, or as Australians call it, pineapple cake. Or as Australian pineapples call it, the cake of death.
Well, I enjoyed this meal so much when I had it in a Parisian restaurant that I asked the chef what it was called. So this is my own version of fuck off English.
These ginger nuts are soft and chewy, and I can't stop going back for more. And the rest of the honeymoon is pretty good too. Love, Megan.
Mary Berry is quite critical of this soggy bottom, but to be fair, in this kind of heat, it's kind of unavoidable.
Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Pets! So this one, you just stick it in the oven, turn up to 190, have a nap. When the smoke alarm goes off, it's done!
Well, you may be wondering, what is the perfect accompaniment to a Scotch egg? Simple. Scotch sperm.
Now, my wife absolutely loves street food, but that's probably because I married a pigeon.
Now, normally for this recipe, I like to use pork lardons, but my producer doesn't listen, so I spent the entire morning making some pigs very happy.
So today, I'm going to be making banana wine, and I'm going to be pressing the skins with my bare feet.
This week, we're going to be tackling that very difficult dish, which is the potato waffle that fell out of the packet months ago and has been stuck in the ice. First thing we need is a very sharp knife.
Hello, I'm Nigella Lawson, and welcome to the non-innuendo cookery hour, where we'll be teaching you how to cook, dick, wank, will you?
To scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a fitness DVD.
Yoga. It's just stretching for twats.
Hello, I'm Darrow O'Brien.
Welcome to Fitness with Theresa May. I'm Amber Rudd.
I'm going to make you sweaty and breathless. I've turned the heating up and hidden your inhaler.
I'd like you to raise your arms to here, and then to here, and then to there. OK, I'm afraid I'm going to have to take away your disability benefits.
And remember, guys, pain is temporary, except for Tony, who got one of his nuts caught in the trampoline springs.
This isn't going to work, is it? You can't even be bothered to leave the house.
Stretch and release, stretch and release. Welcome to the penis enlargement workout.
Can you feel the burn? Then I recommend cranberry juice.
I never used to fit into this dress, but now I've had my penis removed.
Oh, yeah. You can feel the burn.
These used to be my trousers until I discovered the secret. Buying smaller trousers.
Next, I'm going to show you my pecs. There are thousands of them. I got assaulted by a chicken.
OK, let's work on those more unsightly areas. Bums, tums and Croydon.
OK, now we're going to watch a carry-on film so you can work on your core.
And remember, girls, when it comes to weightlifting, what we're really looking for is a nice, clean snatch.
Go on, just stretch. Reach for your toes. Reach for them. Imagine your toes are made of chocolate, you fat fuck.
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't read in a romantic novel.
He pressed his lips to hers and slid his tongue in. That's not how you're supposed to do it, shouted the other paramedic.
He was everything a woman wanted in a man. He was 47, greying, chubby, slightly camp.
He kissed her breast, tenderly. Oh, she said, get your own KFC bucket.
Mr. Darcy is the most eligible bachelor in the county, said Mrs. Bennet, and he's hung like a fucking cart horn.
Everything was in place. The bubble bath had been poured. The chocolate was there. The scented candles had been lit. This was going to be the best wank ever.
He put the chocolates down beside her. Silence. And then at last she spoke. Unexpected item in the bagging area.
6'2" and with shoulders so broad they looked like they could carry the weight of the world, and a full, lustrous moustache. Rebecca really was an unusual-looking lady.
He took her by the hand. It's wonderful to see you again. The country air becomes you. Bosom still heaving, I see. Shit, did I say that last bit out loud?
I need to hear you say it again. Why? Why do you love me, Alexa?
She had never had a ménage à trois before, let alone with two famous brothers. They drove her wild all night with their cries of, to me, to you, to me, to you, to me.
Sophie looked absolutely beautiful in her flowing wedding dress. Admittedly, it was an odd choice to wear on a first date.
When they left the bar, she saw him in a new light. Daylight, and he was disgusting.
I want to see you shit in this bin.
Does fulfil the criteria.
Christian Grey turned to her and said, I'm going to make you feel pain like you've never felt before. And he put Ed Sheeran's Galway Girl on repeat.
As he gently removed her bra, she whispered, "Why are you wearing my bra?"
Oh, Mr. Darcy, you're so becoming. Really? He replied, because I think it's you that will be coming.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is bad things to hear from a tour guide.
Please don't take photos of the natives, because they believe that you're taking part of their soul. Apart from that, enjoy Norwich.
Hello, my name's Janet. I'm your holiday rep, and basically, I'll be giving out morning after pills like they were Smarties.
Good morning. I'm afraid this is the loudest.
Venice is a most historical city, famous for its... Oh, shit, it's flooded. Everyone get back on the bus.
A lot of you will be wondering why there are so many wonderful foreign treasures on display here at the British Museum. And the answer is quite simple, really. Gun beats spear.
Don't worry, this castle does cater for the disabled. They bring you a sandwich while the rest of us go up the steps to look at it.
Let's have a little song, shall we?
Coming up later on, we've got the topless donkey derby and who's got the funniest willy competition. Yes, it's going to be the best saga holiday you've ever had.
I know that a lot of you can't bear to leave Thailand, which is why I've hidden drugs randomly in your luggage.
And as we enter the next room, I need you all to be very quiet because we have technically broken in.
If you need anything at all, I'll be under your bed.
And if you look out of the window on your left, you'll see the side of the road that we should be driving on.
Of course, you have to respect local customs. On the right-hand side, you'll see a woman being burnt at the stake, and on the left, Dundee Town Hall.
Well, this is the deepest, darkest bit of the caves. And unless you give me £20 each, it's where you're staying.
And according to Wikipedia, the East Wing was built in the year Dougie is a homo.
We're now leaving the green zone. Pop on your flak jackets. This is the real Baghdad.
An adult and 2 children is £10. But enough about my trip to Cambodia.
Our next topic is unlikely things to hear on a breakfast show.
If the woman I picked up last night is watching, help yourself to cereal, but get out of the flat by the time I get home.
And now it's time for Thought for the Day. That was a good one.
You're listening to Six Music. Yes, you. Just you.
Welcome to Travel Report. We've got a text here from Dave on the M5 who says, ha ha ha, every morning you leave for work, I pop round and shag your wife.
So if you're trying to get in via Junction 2, stop it. It's against nature, and the Bible says no.
Next, we speak to Fern Breton about having her stomach stapled, this time to an enormous chocolate cake.
In other traffic news, if you're on the M11 headed towards Middlesbrough, I would turn around because it's a shithole.
Hello! I'm doing a survey into the effects of replacing milk on your Weetabix with Red Bull!
And we can see there's been an accident northbound on the M1, and it is a beauty.
Welcome to Radio Tourette's, you shit monkeys.
You may think of it as a breakfast show. I had mine at 4:30.
Later, Vanessa Feltz will be joining me on the settee, and I'll be bouncing through the fucking ceiling.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Jack. Here we go. Here's the first topic. First subject is climate change. Use it like a shot.
The problem with climate is that we're ruining the environment. You know, every year we destroy an area of rainforest the size of Belgium. Why not just destroy Belgium? No one would mind. We're desperate to find an alternative to oil. Wind is one, but what worries me about wind power is that if you cover Britain with 400,000 wind turbines, right, on a windy day, what's to stop the whole country taking off? like an enormous hovercraft and heading for France. That is European unification by the back door.
Very good, Hugh. Hugh, sit down. Congratulations. Very good. So, let's have another topic. Live 8, Rory's coming in like a shot.
This is Live 8 this week. Bob Geldof's big thing was to persuade people to go to Edinburgh by boat. Right. OK, because the first 20 miles are easy, the rest you're going to carry the boat on your shoulders. They're trying to get a million people up to Edinburgh. Elton John's not going, he's sending flowers. And it's a whole G8 Live 8 thing where the world's richest 8 nations get to meet the world's 8 richest rock stars.
Rory, well done, sit down. Let's have another topic. OK, reality TV. Who wants to get in?
Me.
Oh, hang on.
Just a second, though. 12 calories. Well, you probably realise that the 487th series of Big Brother has just started. Problem to me with Big Brother is that when someone gets voted out of the house, they don't actually have a sniper up in a tree with one bullet, just to see how they do. Now, I actually applied for Celebrity Love Island, but...
You can sit down now if you want to. That's just... Now we play a round called Don't Put Your Nuts on the Road. This game involves Ed, Andy, Frankie and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winner is the team I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is homelessness. Who wants to come in on that? Russ.
I had a really great incident with a homeless bloke the other day. That sounds fairly dodgy. It was really, it's weirdly uplifting. So I gave him £1 and I was kind of walking away and he went, "Oi, mate, I've got a magic dog." Now that is a sentence that buys you half an hour with me, right? And it had sick all down him, this dog, right? And the homeless bloke had sick down him as well. And I was like, "What happened?" And he went, "Oh, we was asleep in a skip and some bloke chucked up on us."
It's the most depressing thing you've ever heard. And he just looked at me and went, no, it was amazing. Like, really? Why is that? And apparently what he did, still covered in sick, he stood up in that skip and just went, so this bloke was so drunk he thought his vomit had come alive. That man will never, ever drink again. Beer, Dave, it comes alive! It comes alive! Lovely moment.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is taxis. Who wants to come in that?
One thing I don't miss about London is London cabbies. I used to live in Muswell Hill, a leafy suburb of London, about 6 miles north of here. That's what I thought when I bought the house. I get into a black cab in London's fashionable West End. Turned out I lived in the arsehole of nowhere. Because I'll get into a black cab and I'll go, Muswell Hill, please, and I'll get this. I go, no, mate, I'm not going that way. Like he thinks it's a bus he's driving. What do you mean you're not going that way? I'm not asking for a lift. You know, whenever I get this now, I just get in anyway. I go, right, fair enough. Where do you want to go? That spins them right out, that does, doesn't it? You what? Come on, where do you want to go? I'm paying. No, mate, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Muswell Hill, please.
Thank you very much, Brian. OK, that leaves us with Frankie and Andy. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is transport.
I think the moral of that story is never ride your horse on a runway. You're, of course, not supposed to take planes anymore, not a problem for me. The thing that always mucks me up, that little monitor that you get, you know, outside air temperature, minus 56 degrees. I am inside the aircraft. I have no intention of going outside the aircraft. And if I ever did find myself outside the aircraft, my initial response would not be, ooh, bit nippy.
Well done, Andy. OK, let's see what's been left for Frankie. Let's spin the wheel. It's celebrity. There you go.
It was the anniversary of Elvis's death recently. People still think that Elvis faked his death. Surely if you were going to fake your death, you wouldn't do it in a shitting accident. I mean, you'd do something brave, wouldn't you? Rescue a wee boy from a river. Surely not a jobby-related heart attack. We had the anniversary of Princess Diana's death. I thought that at the concert, only Ricky Gervais paid a true tribute to Diana by dying a painful and horrible death. You can get celebrity sat-navs now. You can get a Princess Diana sat-nav. It just keeps saying, put your foot down, I think we can lose them. I'll be honest with you, that joke can go either way.
Thank you all. OK, at the end of that round, I give the point to Russell and Andy.